So the Leadership Consortium owes its name and its origin from the fact that a consortium is in essence a grouping and a collective of ideas and thoughts. And it's embedded in the fact that leadership per se is not normally in the hands of one person. It should be a collective, it should involve different perspectives, it should involve a broad spectrum of what is possible from the leadership perspective. The Zenger-Folkman family of colleagues around the world represent a broad group of people who are playing in the leadership space. And our Australian colleagues, Terry Reynolds and Glenn Price, have done a magnificent job in putting together a set of podcasts that address the questions and the recipes within the Zenger-Folkman methodology. These podcasts represent step-by-step, short, bite-sized, normally about 3 to 4 minutes, ideas, concepts, and tips and tricks as to how we can build our extraordinary leadership. So our invitation is to enjoy these podcasts, squeeze as much value as you can out of them, and make it part of building your leadership stepway to extraordinary. Podcast episode 22 talks about the whole crucial importance of feedback as an integral part of our leadership capability. As Glenn and Terry have outlined in the podcast, we have 3 choices whenever we receive feedback. The first one is to receive the feedback openly. The second one is to deny it. And the third one is to actively include it as part of our leadership behavior. The last option represents the best option, and it needs an open mind and a willingness to actively seek feedback as part of our leadership style going forwards.
Welcome to the Leadership Digital podcast series with Glenn Price and Terry Reynolds. Inside everyone's head is a picture of how they see themselves. This mental self-portrait sums up their values, behaviours and self-image. In most cases, leaders with a fatal flaw are totally unaware of that flaw. For example, people who immediately reject others' ideas would probably describe themselves as having such extensive experience that they know what ideas will succeed and fail. These individuals don't know they are perceived as rejecting anyone else's ideas. How can that be changed? Feedback from one-on-one coaching, team discussions, or 360-degree surveys can provide disconfirming information. The messages conveyed could be contrary to the leader's self-perception. This creates a dilemma and forces action. Here, leaders just like yourselves have several choices. Firstly, you can choose to deny the information, but it comes from multiple sources that are clearly reliable. It becomes extremely difficult to deny this consistent pattern of feedback. Secondly, you could choose to change your self-concept. Leaders can say to themselves, okay, I guess I'm arrogant and think my ideas are the only good ones that exist. However, most would find this unacceptable and illogical. Lastly, you could choose to change your behaviour. For most people faced with a barrage of disconfirming information, the easiest course of action is actually to change the behaviour. That is the power of feedback. Now, not all feedback is equally useful. Feedback is most valuable if it is specific, focused, and related to the behavioral process rather than general personality characteristics. The most useful feedback focuses on the intensity of effort, the innovative approaches used, or the ability to overcome obstacles. If a child is told, wow, you really worked hard on that, he or she will be better equipped to face future challenges than if told, wow, you're really smart. This is a subtle difference in the way feedback is given, but it can powerfully affect the way people view themselves and how they view their abilities. Not all people like the same type of feedback. Some people are highly motivated by positive feedback. They feel crushed by negative feedback. However, other people are skeptical of positive feedback because they care most about averting failure. To them, negative feedback is a source of useful information, while positive feedback comes across as hollow praise. The fine art of learning from feedback will be easier if you do the following 3 things. 1. Find trustworthy sources of feedback. It's easy to get blindsided by our own weaknesses. We need people we can trust who will tell us the truth about ourselves. Don't shy away from giving good feedback to others. Number 2, stick with specifics. Excellent feedback gives people specific information. Give detailed examples where possible. Describe what actually happened rather than your assumption about the event. And finally, number 3, tailor feedback to the person. Be sensitive. If the person's life orientation is to prevent disaster, stick with suggestions for improvement to help them achieve that goal. If individuals will be devastated by negative feedback, accentuate the positive aspects of their performance. There is an old African proverb that says, "Not to know is bad. Not to wish to know is even worse."
It's a pleasure to be able to share these thoughts and ideas with you, and hopefully be part of allowing you to adopt a journey where extraordinary leadership is an opportunity and a growth area for you and your teams.